done, he will.
I love his expressions when somebody says something to him.
Oh yeah. It's like he's just pondering on like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's sitting there
Yes.
thinking. Mr. Zach.
What's up, my man?
Dude, I've been looking forward to this for a little while.
Yes, sir. Me too.
It has been a good time. Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
My name's Zach Poole. I'm right here from Western Road, Louisiana, and I'm a custom knife maker.
Custom knife. So it's Rafter P knives.
Rafter P custom knives. Yes, sir.
I see you got something right here. It ain't sharp, is it?
Oh yeah.
That is
that one right there. It's
that is a blade, son.
I think that's maple and some resin, swirled resin on the handle, and then steel's 8670, and that's a little finish I do. That stonewash finish.
So it almost looks like it's not Damascus, and excuse me for not knowing a ton about knives.
No, you're good.
But it's not Damascus, it's just a...
No, it's been etched. It's etched in ferric chloride. It's just a finish I do. It you got your polished knives and stuff, which, they're fancy, they're nice, but for the everyday working knife, that's a finish that holds up really well. So what I tell people is I just go ahead and scratch it for you so it's ready to go to work.
What's the point of having a knife? We all have nice knives and nice toys, but what's the point of having one if you can't use it?
Exactly.
We have the ones that are nice that we don't use. I got a Henry Golden Boy. That's actually the best shooting 22 that I have.
Oh yeah,
but it's too
you
pretty.
hate to put a scratch on it.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't take it out a whole lot. So
and that's one of my folders right there. Yeah. And that's all handmade by me, not a kit knife. I build the bolsters, the scales, the liners, everything. I fit the springs. Yep. You'll see a lot of guys they'll buy the kits and just rehandle them and stuff. But yeah, I build every part of it.
So is this all resin?
No, that's actually cholla cactus and resin. So that's stabilized cholla cactus. Yeah.
Did you get it from y'all's place out in Texas?
Oh no, it comes from a guy in Arizona, and then I actually have a guy in Baytown, Texas. I'll shout him out. Heath Stone gives me a lot of it, or I buy a lot of it from him.
Yeah, dude, these are nice. I know that we sell.
That came from Heath. Yeah, the handle. He pours those handles for me. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he does really good work.
So how long you been making knives?
I've been building knives off and on. Like I shot horses for.
I love that blade.
The bull cutter.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
yeah.
you're good.
What do you call this? A bull
cutter.
The bull cutter.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'd build a few knives here and there when I was shooting horses, just from being in the forge, building horseshoes and stuff like that. And kind of during actually COVID, we were kind of stuck at home. I said, I'll build a few knives to sell, tinker with it. And we built, I think it was 3. And I posted on Facebook and they sold in like 10 minutes. I was like, hey, there might be something here.
Yeah.
And it took me way longer to build knives in. So like 3 knives took me 2 weeks to build, so, and then I'd built a few more here, a few more there, and the work was not good. It wasn't good. I had, family, friends, buying them, but it wasn't like quality that you're getting now with my work.
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere.
There's still, dude, everybody that has those knives, they always say like, if you want a quality knife, like that's what you get. Like I have a Benchmade, but like it's a...
Well, Benchmade's good stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Like this is a...
Well, you just can feel the quality difference. Like once you feel it and you kind of feel the weight, and I do a few things to get some weight off of them, because all my knives come with a 5/32 spines. See, a lot of your production knives, see how thin the spine is on that knife?
Yeah.
Like it's probably... I don't know. It's thin.
Like that.
Yeah, it's thin. And not that that's not a durable knife, but the thicker the spine, obviously, the stronger it's going to be. So I just put really high grinds on them.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I put really high grinds on them to get the weight off, which it takes longer to do that. But yeah, you put those higher grinds, and I just put some weight reduction holes in the handle. So, and all my work, like a lifetime warranty on my work, like no questions asked. Yeah,
that's awesome being able to go and get warranty. Even like the bows, like we don't even know what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about all kind of stuff. But first of all, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Second, but like even like the bows, whether you buy a Hoyt or Matthews, having a good warranty. You
got to, yeah, for sure. Well, and I'm asking a premium price for a premium product, and I want people to know that I'm not just there to get you pocketbook.
No, this is not a $20 Gerber you get from Walmart.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. I stand behind my work. I'll warranty it. I've had a few come back. There's no perfect. Yeah, there's none that are perfect, but if you pay that price, it's a one-time buy is what I tell people.
Yeah.
You buy it once, you never have to buy another one.
Yeah. So,
don't lose it.
You know when you have new guys that, and look, I know I still do it, but you have your new guys when they go to buy a bow, what's the first thing they do? They pull it off the shelf and they're going to hold it and try to feel. You're not telling anything from that.
No.
you can feel the overall weight.
Yeah.
When you crank it back and you get it full draw, that's where you can really be able to tell.
For sure.
But your noobs going and just holding the bow and acting like they're drawing it. Mm-hmm. Is that us not making fun, but us noticing that? Is that I keep feeling the edge? Is that all your new knife guys?
My deal is on the high end knives like this or the custom made knives. If you can ever get it in their hand, a lot of times, somebody will be like, okay, I can see why it costs this or why it's worth having a handmade knife or the quality difference in something that you're using. Like I use all American made steel that's high quality, 8670 high carbon. It's as good a knife steel as you can get for like forging style steels. It's not your what do they call it? Super steels like your stainlesses and stuff like that. This is a working man's knife. This is made. It's hardened where the average man can resharpen it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had a stainless knife and you get it dulled. Now, don't get me wrong, a stainless knife will hold the edge longer, but you can't get it back sharp. The common man can't, not without some kind of power tool or I say power grinder or sitting in one spot for a really long time whittling on it.
I don't like sharpening knives. When I skin deer, I'm gonna put that thing up. Looking at it, it's about to cut me. The knives that we what are they? Has a replaceable blades.
The Havilons.
No, it's not the Havilon. That is one. That's not the one. Is it Outdoor Edge? Yeah, Outdoor Edge. Yeah. So that's the ones that we sell a lot of, and all the replacement blades. Mm-hmm. Dude, I'll go through it. Even if I can still use it a little bit, I'll throw that blade away and I'll put it on just because they're so cheap.
And that is handy. Especially for like your backcountry guys and stuff. And don't get me wrong, that is handy.
Yeah, I don't envy you and your job of what you do. I don't like sharpening knives.
Oh, I sharpen a ton of them.
Oh, I bet you. I got several. I'm gonna send home with you and let you.
I can do it.
Matter of fact, when we get done, let's finish the podcast up now. Let's just call it quits. Let's just go shoot bows.
But all right, don't tempt me with a good time.
Yep. So you're a knife maker.
Oh yeah.
All the equestrian, Western stuff. That's actually how that I met you originally is Wesley.
Wesley Johnson,
Yep. So
I think y'all did some duck hunting together?
I try to do a little bit of rodeo stuff. And
is that what it was? Yeah.
I'm a whole lot better at shooting a bow or running my jaws on here than I am riding a horse or whatever. Sure. But no, it's fun. We were at a rodeo somewhere and because you healed.
I headed for Wesley in high school. I think it was our sophomore year.
Yeah.
I was over at his house a little bit. He was over at my house a little bit, practicing, getting ready for rodeos and stuff. So, and that's how I kind of met the Bastrop crowd or the log cabin crowd.
Get out of there. So that's where I remember you from. The first time I remember meeting you, we're at a rodeo and we went, and I wasn't doing the high school rodeo stuff, but, I don't remember what rodeo it was. We were at one, and that's the first time I met you. Mm-hmm. And then going over there roping goats and all that stuff. You remember the goat pen that me and him built? That was fun. Wesley, if you're listening, a little shout out to you, homie. So he's actually out there pretty close to your neck of the woods where you're hunting at.
Yeah, I think he moved to Kansas or something, didn't he?
I think he's south of Alva because he was in Weatherford for a while with Patrick Smith and that whole crew.
Oh yeah.
I remember being so not jealous, but just I was like,
he's living the dream, man.
Living the dream. He still is.
Sure.
Like, he's got a beautiful family, awesome operation. Like what he's doing is great. But his hunting, he found his niche with the guide service.
For sure.
Matter of fact, let me look him up. I don't remember the name.
I don't either.
Do you remember? You don't remember the name of his?
We randomly Snapchat every now and again. I hadn't been in touch with him in a while.
Let me see. I miss his birthday, the 20th. Wesley, happy birthday. I know he does some real estate stuff and all that too. But again, I was trying to find Grindstone Outfitters.
There you go.
Yep. So shout out to Grindstone Outfitters. They look, when you're talking about premium stuff, whether it's a Hoyt or Matthews or a Turtle Box or whatever,
for sure.
or these Rafter P knives, when you're talking about quality and a premium product, you're going to pay for it. Mm-hmm. We've all been on shoddy duck hunts and deer hunts and turkey hunts, stuff like that. That's we cut our teeth doing that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Now I like going on quality stuff. I like
that's what it's about.
It's hard for me to get away, and I know it is you too, having a family. Our kids are right there at the same age. Like what do we say? It was 2 weeks, 3 weeks apart, something like that. Like so, you're September 17th, I'm October 4th. So it's 2 or 3 weeks apart. When I go on a hunt or I'm getting away, I want to go kill. I want to have a good time. And dude, them sun guns, they smash the ducks.
Oh yeah,
and deer too, and turkeys. But dude, the freaking waterfowl.
Oh yeah,
that's always in Wesley's niche. He can get on them and freaking
Oh yeah, he's good at it.
He smashes them. So, all right, but I don't even remember where I was going with that. But talking about the place that you hunt at. But I want to get back to the bow. So Richard, have you hounded him enough yet to?
I try not to bug him too much, but I'm like a little kid at Christmas when it's new bow time, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I need my bow. Yeah. Haley just got hers in last week, so we got it all put together, and we were shooting it in this past weekend. It's she's got a 24-inch draw, so it's really hard to find like a good small quality bow. Like they make a bunch of like the lower tier bows for. Right. She came out of that TX5. That was the last bow that was performance wise that they made, like flagship style bow that they made in that short of a draw. And they make the women bows, but they just don't have the specs of these flagship style bows.
They're still great.
They're good.
Like that Image by Matthews. Yeah, that was a good shooting bow.
Super good bow.
But where they've really found, like Hoyt and Matthews both, in my opinion, where they found their niche is going to the Lift X, or it's the new Lift series, but it's the RS. I don't know if that stands for rocket ship.
Real short or something like that.
Real short is something, but dude, that's a
sweet rig. I wanted her something in a little bit, like that was for sure a bow we were looking at, but I really like that 30-inch axle bow for her, just something a little more stable, because we shoot a bunch.
Oh, she'll outshoot me and you.
Oh, she's pretty deadly.
Yeah. We're going to find that out at TAC here in a little while too.
Yeah, she's killed 10 or 12 deer with her bow now. Yeah, She doesn't play around.
So you got her is it the Alpha AX2?
No, we went with the RX9 short draw.
Oh, you got the big. Dang.
Yeah, well, that TX5 was so heavy for her. That was like her biggest thing she struggled with was weight. So that's kind of why we went the carbon route, or the lightweight route, is just trying to get her in something that she could hold a little longer and a little better up front.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So, y'all have had that for a week?
Yeah. Wednesday will be a week, or yesterday was a week.
How many arrows you got through it so far?
She's probably shot 50 or 60 through it. Yeah, we shot quite a bit. It's been so dang cold and rainy. Dude. It's hard to get out there and shoot, but I got it put together. We got it tuned and all that, and then we went to, we got a little range there at the house. It goes out to 90 yards, and we had her shooting 80. Just trying to find a sight tape. We had her shooting 80 that second day. We got her 20 doped in and then shooting her 80. And she was grouping pretty good, but she hadn't shot in a minute because we actually sold her bow for a Christmas present. And so she's been shooting like a Mission Craze or something. Yeah. And so she really made a big step.
Yeah, it is it's a very big step when you go from shooting a bow. Like, oh man, look, those Mission bows, They're have their great place.
And she did. She was in I think a Bowtech Carbon Rose her first year, but this just the performance lacks, man, especially in short draw people.
Everybody that you hear, I've never had anyone, if they've gone and said, man, I can't justify spending $1,200-$1,300 on a bow. And that's aluminum. And they're going to be, I don't know, what are they, these carbon bows? What are they, 1,800?
Like 19, 2. They're high.
They're pushing $2,000. Yeah, they're somewhere between that 1,700 and 2,000. I don't remember. So again, y'all don't criticize me too hard on that. I don't remember exactly what they are, but once it gets past that $1,500 mark and you get it, it's like, all right, it ain't going to be that much of a difference. If you want it, you're going to get it. But yeah, it's people that go and criticize, like, or just say, like, I ain't spending that kind of money. I ain't doing that. It ain't worth it.
Well, it's all in what you're into too.
It is. When you go and you shoot one when you shoot that bow, or do that the RX8. You had the RX8.
I had 8, yeah.
Yeah, that's a dude. That's
I had the RX830 and I went to the RX9 Ultra this year. Yeah, I wanted something that little longer because we shoot so dang much. I wanted something to just try something a little more stable platform.
Yeah, but everybody that goes and shoots those bows, they'll knock on them and say they ain't spinning it, and then they end up leaving Spotted Dog with it, or they're ordering one. For sure. It don't matter if it's the Hoyts or the Matthews.
Well, especially like right now, I think if you order one now, you could dang near have it before that April tax-free deal.
Yeah, and then you
save yourself a couple $100 on that. So
that's pretty solid.
That's what I did last year.
What sight are you running?
I was running a HHA rail. Rail with an ultra view scope, but I ended up going to a dialed sight, trying it here recently, and I like it. The sight housing, I think it's a 41 millimeter sight housing. I went from like a 31 or a 33 or whatever, so it's a little big. I've been getting used to that, so it's shooting good. I like it.
You still shooting like a 3/16 peep?
Oh yeah, that Hamsky Rafter peep. Yep.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't. I think it doesn't matter. Yeah, I've tried. It's just in my bow right now. It's the peep I got. I think size matters more than that tunnel view. Lighting, I hunted with it all year. I couldn't I couldn't tell the difference in lighting.
I think the baffles, and I think that does help. So just me holding it up, I've only gotten them out of the package. I've never shot it, but just me holding it up, I do think it makes a difference in being able to go and.
Well, what it does do for me, it makes 100% sure your peep is lined up. Well, because if it's off, you can't see.
That's my issue. That has been my issue, and that's what Michael and Richard have told me. That like we sell the fire out of them, and they are a premium. They are a great sight, but you get any string twist, any string rotation or peep rotation, you're gonna get that.
But the cool thing about the Hoyts is they have that little peep tuner in them.
Yeah, well, and you don't have any string rotation or twist on these new bows. Matthews and Hoyt, I don't know about Elite, but Matthews and Hoyt, their new strings within the last 2 years. I mean, they've been great for a while, but dude, these new strings on the Hoyts.
Yeah, I've got probably wild. 2,500, 3,000 arrows through my RX-8. And now the serving's coming apart. It's time for a new set of strings. Yeah. But I mean, they made it through a lot of shooting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. So your bow, tell me about that. So Richard, you've been hounding him. And
I called him. We kind of had like I wasn't going to buy a new bow this year. I was like, man, I'm going to shoot the same bow for 2 years. Cause I've been doing the new bow deal. And,
every year?
Yeah, for like 2 or 3 years, not very long. And I said, I'm going to shoot this bow for 2 years.
Right.
And the new bow's dropped. I'm like, no. So I got my little fix through ordering Haley a bow. So I was like, okay, that gives us one new bow, something to tinker with. I love tinkering. Right. And, my cousin called me. He's like, dude, I want a new bow. I was like, I'll sell you mine.
It didn't take you long to figure that out.
I'll sell you mine. So he ended up buying my bow, and that's how I justified ordering a new bow.
Nice.
So I called Richard. I said, what do you have in stock? I said, I don't want to order one. I want something yesterday. And
when was this?
2 weeks ago.
Okay, so very recent.
Yeah, and he said, we got some bows coming. And I said, well, put my name on the first RX-9 that walks in the door, the Ultra. I said, that's what I want. I don't care what it is.
Have you shot it yet?
Yeah, I shot it. Yeah, it's sweet. Yeah, it's legit.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Everybody talked about like it being stiffer up front, and don't get me wrong, it is. But the performance you get, who cares?
That is my thing.
Who cares?
So on that bow with the arrows over there, I went ultra light 3 years ago. I say ultra light. A lot of people may shoot lighter, but I've been shooting that 450, 455 grain arrow total.
Solid.
It's great. Like it's really probably the best for
What's
anything.
Your draw length?
28 and a half.
So you're the same as me. So yeah, you can shoot that's what, to me, where a lot of people get killed off is that short draw. Like Haley, she gets killed off of that short draw.
Yeah. But I went from 450. I was going and loading up that front end. I mean, I was pushing like 18, 19% FOC on the airstrikes. And then Victory, we started selling those, and they wanted to send us some just for me to get some content with. And so I got maybe a dozen or 2 dozen, something like that. Lost probably most of them at tag.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I went and I wanted to hover that same. It was a little bit heavier arrow, but I wanted to hover that same 450 just because that's what I was comfortable with. And I was like, I know I can shoot a 270, 280 pound deer in Kansas, and I'm not going to have a problem with it sticking 100%. Through the dirt on the other side. Yep. It don't matter if it's 30, 40 yards. I'm not going to have an issue with it. And started shooting tack more, started stretching it out, and I started having a little bit of issue with that sight tape. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to go a touch lighter.
What are you running for your tack arrows?
I'm doing a tack and hunting arrow. It's the same.
Oh, is it?
I'm shooting.
Mine's a little different.
And I know you and your dad both. You are doing. Yeah. I wanted to do. I was like, if I can shoot the same, I want to shoot the exact same thing.
I get it.
So I'm at 404.
Oh, well, you're
something,
still good.
But
yeah,
I'm 405.
I'm 390 on my tack arrow, and I'm gonna be 435 on my hunt arrow.
Yeah,
which I'm not, and I'm kind of. I don't know why. I'm sure there's people that do this where I'm kind of cheating. Is I'm not changing any of the components. I'm just running an 85 grain half out. Field point for tack, and then 125 grain broadhead for hunting. So I don't have to change nothing except screwing in a different point.
Right. That's easy. Then. Yeah. Just same arrow. Just
because I shoot 125 grain broadheads now, so I just order 85 grain field points.
And you have that dialed sights. All you got to do is just swap
a ring off and put a new ring on.
That is easy and convenient.
Yeah, it's super convenient.
I was at 405, but on the RX-8 Ultra from last year, and I've done some videos and we've talked about on the podcast. I think we have some, but on that bow, again, that's the Hoyt RX-9 Ultra, and it has the HBX Gen 2. Isn't it the Gen 2 cams?
I think it's Gen 4 now.
Or Gen 4, yeah. I know it's a different generation. Sorry. All right.
Because they went to the 1-inch increments instead of the 2 or whatever.
Yeah. And so they had a new cam this year. And it is stiffer on the front end.
Sure.
Like Hoyt's thing, they've always said that 70 pounds feels like 60. That stopped, in my opinion, with the RX-8. But it still draws incredible. I'm not saying that it
I shot the Lift X 80 pounder against the RX9 80 pound. I mean, it's not.
Oh, it draw. It sounds super. It is by.
The Hoyt feels better.
Yeah, it feels better.
I'm not a brand guy either. It's just, to me, the Hoyt felt better.
But it does have a stiffer draw on it. But with that 405 grain arrow with a 28.5 inch draw, 13 feet per second faster.
Oh yeah.
Because what we did is and again, I know I did a video on this. It's on social media and everything, and people were hammering me on it. But the exact same, but which I get the ATA is a touch different on the 8 Ultra versus a 9 Ultra.
Well, it's like an inch, is it? It was a 30.
I think it's a half. I think it's like 30 a touch over 34, and this is 33 and it says 33, but it's 33 and 8, 33 and a quarter, 316. It's something,
whatever,
but
yeah.
it ain't
33.
much. Yeah. But we went and got within a quarter of a pound, got it just as close as we could get. It was like 0.2 something pounds on the draw.
That's close enough.
And it's close enough. And then draw length, the exact same. So same arrow, same everything, 13 feet per second faster.
That's why I bought the Ultra.
And that's so, dude, I'm shooting 294, I think is what I'm at with that bow. And that's at 70 pounds, 28.5 inch draw, 405 grain arrow.
I clocked my tack arrow. I got a chrono at the house. I tacked my tack arrow 309 out of my bow, which it's a 75 pound bow.
Okay.
My hunting arrow, which was this past year, was 499 and it clocked 278.
Yeah.
Which is pretty screaming for a 500. So I'm ready to shoot the Ultra to compare those together.
Yeah. You're at 28 and a half. So if you're at 28 and a half with a 435 grain arrow, you'll be pushing, you'll be pushing 290. You'll be probably mid 280s, upper two, which is plenty fast.
Oh, dude.
293, 294.
I shot my new hunting arrow, 294.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you shot it through.
Yeah, because I had it built up. I just put that 125 grain head in it and shot through. Yeah, 294 on my hunting arrow.
Nice. Are you doing 75 pounds on the?
Oh yeah,
the new one.
Yeah, I don't know. 75 pounds seems to be the sweet spot for me. I've shot the 80s and I've shot the 70s. 70s 80 is easy. 80 kind of feels stiff. 75 just.
It's it for you. You got a little bit more meat. You work. I carry a lot of heavy cameras and this big head around a lot, but you work with your hands a little more.
You got a hammer for a long time.
You swung a hammer for a long time, but I'm excited. Like I said, when we get wrapped up with this, we'll go to your house.
Yeah, we'll shoot. We got a little range there. We'll do that.
We got another podcast today. That's actually my phone's on Do Not Disturb, but I forgot if you have your people on your favorites list. If they call,
they can come through.
It comes through. And so, Craig, I just ignored you. Sorry. But I'm getting Craig, and then we're doing another one up just a tack specific. That's what I want to talk to you about, just tack and everything. But
me kind of last minute, I had a show, the Western Heritage Classic, which is a big ranch rodeo that they do in Abilene. And I didn't sign up for any tax because they were so close to that. I didn't, with work and all that, I just couldn't take off. And the weekend before, they had that one.
This is Total Archery Challenge.
Yeah.
Just in case you're wondering, but it's just an archery event. See.
But I got on there like a week before the shoot. I'm like chomping at the bit. I want to go. And they had 3 tickets left for the Ultra View course on Saturday. And me, my dad, and another buddy, I bought them. I didn't know if they wanted to go. I just bought them, and I called Dad. I said, "You want to go?" He said, "Yeah, I'll go." And I called another guy, and he said, "Yeah, I'll go." So we literally, I think our shoot was Saturday. Our knock time was 7:00. We left Friday evening at like 5. Drove down there, got a hotel room for a few hours, shot the Ultra View course, and then shot the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation course, and then drove home 8 hours.
Nice. It was worth it though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. So like now this year, it's a blast. If anybody gets a chance, I highly recommend going. I met another, I'm pretty sure is going to be a lifelong friend, David Norman. Met him down there. He's a preacher man there in San Antonio.
Oh yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. I took him. We went hunting together this year for the first time. He's a good dude, super solid guy. But we're going, which obviously we're going to Broken Bow, me and you and your group and my wife. And then we're going to do San Antonio in April. And then me and Haley, we don't have a group yet together, but me and her for sure are going to go to the one in Utah.
Yeah, I'm married. So we're in discussions with that.
I'm down. Just let me know. We got like 3 weeks or something. Then
before sign up.
Yeah, it's the 19th or something.
Yeah, but I am excited. I'm ready to go out there.
Dude, I love them.
And shoot. We didn't go last year. We had Ren, our little girl, and we had her April 16th, and that was right.
Oh yeah,
it was right after the attack event. I was like, you ain't. you ain't slipping away.
No.
Right, a week and a half before
for sure.
or a week and a half before
Well, you
your
really
baby
don't
gets there.
want to, man. You don't want to take a chance. You can't have fun. I mean, you that's always going to be in the back of your mind. What if? And it ain't worth.
Yeah,
it ain't worth going.
So we're shooting the Sitka course Saturday morning at that first slide. So
I've never been to Broken Bow.
You haven't been.
I've
to
only
Broken
been
Bow,
to San Antonio,
and you haven't shot the Sitka course. So
I heard it's pretty legit,
dude.
Yeah,
I have a video out there that I did our first year about it. It's awesome. It's,
the knock-on course seems to fly off the shelf, but I know it's a good course, but I think it's just kind of the hype around John Dudley. Everybody wants to shoot the green Sasquatch or whatever.
Yeah, and it is fun. The first 2 years at Broken Bow, the Sitka course, you weren't getting the first year. I mean, it was almost impossible. I mean, it was so many people, even when it was your knock time and you had to get on that tiki barge, that boat and drive on, take the boat out there. I mean, you just saw people walking everywhere. And so even when you got to the island, you still had to wait for a minute for your turn. Like it was so many people that signed up for that. And man, I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of glad that it hasn't lost its edge and it's fun.
Dude,
it's
Broken
the same.
Bow sold out freaking fast.
It is. It's worse than a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, dude. It was, I know we were kind of on the phone talking. I literally hit the queue or the submit my email, and I was like 250 in line or 225 in line. I think you were like 900 in line.
I was like 988 or 880. Yeah. So I was pushing 900.
Well, then that's what, and I'm sure I mean, it just is what it is. But like I don't know how you get everybody signed up on, because I ran out at 225. I didn't get us all signed up. I mean, I had random courses for 2 people just to get something bought.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and then when it finally got to my turn, it took like 2 or 3 hours, something later when it was
crazy.
Finally my turn.
Yeah, you called me and said, because we're going to shoot Sunday.
Yeah,
and you had us something for Sunday.
We might, so our wives might be going now. That's when I called you the other day. I was like, about TAC, but our wives might be going.
Let's do it.
So I know we're talking about taking the campers. We still got that spot. They're talking about getting the Airbnb, and it'll be just like a half mile up the road. And so anyhow,
it don't matter to me. Whatever you want to do.
Still have the camping spot, so you can do that or whatever. But
it doesn't matter.
I'll let you know once we figure out for sure. We're gonna have to take babysitters.
Dude, we're easy. We're easy.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. But I'm excited about TAC. I'm excited about your bow. What last thing about that? I want to talk about your elk hunt. But what color did you get?
Tombstone, black limbs, orange strings.
Surprised you didn't do some Kuiu stuff.
Man, I did the Verdi on this last bow, but I don't know. I think since I sell my freaking bow every year, I think I'm just gonna stick with the solids. They're easier to move.
Well, and they look so dang good.
The solids do. I mean, you can always dress them up, with the different color strings, D loops, peeps, whatever. The offset or the off color weights and all that.
That's what I do with that. So this one is that and that I just took, which that's actually off some old bars that I've had for a while. Yeah. And I wanted more weight there. So by the time I distributed my weight out, I was still too short on the front and the back for the total weight that I felt like just shooting it. I was like, I'm a couple ounces off.
And what are you running? 3 up front, 5 in the back?
So it's 2.5 ounces up front and 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5 in the
2
back.
up front, 7 in the back. Right now, but I'm running a 6-inch bar, not an 8 on the back, so it's probably dang close.
But I took those off, and they were yellow. I did a black and yellow, but I did that a while back, and I just pulled it off and just primed them and spray painted them.
There you go.
And that little kicker thing, whatever they call that, that's what I just spray painted those a color just to kind of match my arrows. Matter of fact, it's funny. Me and your wife, you sent me a picture of some arrows y'all built a while back, and of that kind of a teal or bluish like that color with the pink strings. I'm like, that's what I'm shooting. I said, that's gonna be fun at TAC.
She's going all pink, I think. We did on her just to get clearance on that site. We did a little 4-fletch, the AE, whatever, hybrid hunters, whatever. The short ones. Yeah. We're not going to shoot broadheads with that, but just for TAC, just to get that clearance. 4-fletch them, you can lay them sideways or whatever. So
nice. Well, I am excited about TAC.
I am too.
All right, tell me about your elk hunt. I want to hear about that.
Yeah, obviously every bow hunter's dream is to go on an archery elk hunt. My wife, I would have never done it. Like a guide hunt. I'd have never done that. My wife signed me up or bought me, or I don't know if she bought it. I ended up paying for it. But thank you, honey. But no, we ended up. She bought me one for Christmas. Surprised me Christmas morning last year, or 2023, or excuse me, 2024 or 2023 with a contract for an elk hunt. So obviously, prepared all summer, lost a few pounds, did all the hiking stuff, and still wasn't prepared. No. Man, them hills up there, it's steep. When they tell you Idaho's steep, Idaho's steep.
Yeah, it'll kill you.
One of the funnest and worst trips of my life, man. We got up there, and I've always wanted to do like the backcountry, you know. We didn't spike tent. We had canvas tents, but we tent campfire, food cooked over the fire. I mean, it was legit.
Did you have a Starlink out there with you so you can get on TikTok?
No, come on. There's none of that. But hey, my wife, she did. I made a bunch of videos for her, and she kept the TikTok going because that's our bread and butter in the knife business is that TikTok. So yeah, she did great. She's a rock star. I don't give her enough credit, but she does all like my email stuff. She does a lot of my message. Oh yeah, because I'm a knuckle dragger when it comes to all that. I just put me in the shop and let me build stuff.
That's right.
But anywho, me and my buddy Eric Miller, we drove it was a 31-hour drive for me because he lives in Fort Worth. So like 31-hour, 26-hour drive for him, whatever. And we drove up there, met our guides and met our outfitter and guide and all that. And pretty low. I mean, just people like me and you, just, mountain men, crazy, like not that they're not fit. Like they're not like you would think could, but freaking
not
walk.
David Goggins or Cam
but
Hanes.
Freaking walk circles around you, man. So we get there the first day. We're going up a mountain called Misery Ridge.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Oh yeah. So we're going up that, and our guide turns around and says, "I see an elk over there," and I'm like, "I don't see nothing." I mean, it's just, you're not used to glass, and like you got to get that size reference glass, and I just didn't have it out there. I'm used to glass and whitetail, not elk.
Yeah.
So he glasses this elk, or he says he did. No, I'm kidding. He glasses this elk on the other side of the mountain from us. He's like, "We're going over there." I'm like, "Do what?" So we get, and I'm not kidding. We go back down Misery, the hiking trail, and we get to the road. And when I say it is straight up, it is straight up. So distance wise, we probably only covered half a mile maybe, but it took us almost 3.5 hours to hike it straight up. Yeah. So we get up there there's elk sign everywhere, but we just never connected that first day. And that was, I think I was the shooter that day. Second day, what did we do? Second day, we got on a bull, bugling. Eric made plays on him. We hung with this bull probably, 4 or 5 hours. It was all morning. He'd bugle back and forth, and he was young bull. I think they say he was like 2-year-old bull or something. Just but he was just satellite bull. He was just trying to, I guess, play or whatever. So it reminded me a lot of turkey hunting. It really did. Like the way we hunted them, it was a lot like turkey hunting.
That's what I've always heard that people say that. Matter of fact,
when you call them, like we were aggressive, really aggressive calling. We weren't like trying to hunt pinch points or wallows. We weren't sitting. We were walking all day. But he got dang close. He actually had the bull at 80 yards, never had a shot. We had him at 30 yards screaming at us, 40 yards screaming at, but just so thick. You can't. There's no shooting.
Yeah.
He
was shooting with a 30.
You could hear him. You could hear him in the brush. I never saw him. Eric saw him at 80 yards after he was leaving. He got downwind of us. Third day, we started our starting spot, climb up, get high, and guide bugles, and we hear like 2 or 3 bugles, and one's like really close to the road, like just a few hundred yards off the road. So we bomb off the mountain, literally hike up the road, and he hits a cow call or he bugles or something. This bull screams, and he's like, he's within 150 yards of us off the road. Like this never happens.
Yeah.
And we run up. I guess it's an old fire break or something like that. We run up this little trail, and we get in a cedar or whatever they're called. And this bull's at like 40 yards screaming his head off. But he's straight on. He's looking us straight on. And I'm trying to think. The deal was he was higher, like we're low, he's high, and it's so steep. He's coming down to us, and he's coming. Like he's on a string. God says, "All right, here you go. This is it." So this bull gets to like, 5 yards. And I'm drawing back at this time. I draw back. Well, he sees me. He finally gets to where he sees me, and I took a frontal. I put it on his chest where I thought I should have hit, and I hit exactly where I was aiming. And he turns around, wheels around. He runs out to like, I think it was like 40, but adrenaline's pumping. I knock another arrow, and I settle in. I didn't move my sight. I settled in. I shot over his back. I tried to guess, shot over his back. And which he didn't give us, like he was on the move, and I moved after, I kept going kind of after him, and we kind of, the adrenaline dump, everybody's trying to gather back up, figure everything out, and the guide was kind of like, man, why'd you do that? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, why'd you take a frontal? I was like, well, it's kind of like you asked us, like, are we confident in taking that shot? I was like, I hit exactly where I was aiming. I was like, I thought I smoked him. And he's like, we got to find blood. We need to see the blood. Well, we get to where he was standing. There's blood everywhere. I mean, I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm still kind of like in shock and all that. And Eric's with me. He's, they're trying to calm me down because I'm spazzing, dude. I just shot. He's a giant. He's like a 320 class bull I just shot. And let's see. We get on blood. We kind of, it's good blood. But you got to remember how big elk is. There's blood everywhere. I'm not exaggerating. There's blood everywhere. You could, like, a walking pace follow this blood. Yeah. So, we're confident. We're like, this bull's dead. And we get about 500 yards on the track. And, good blood. Never.
Still the whole time.
Yeah. Never had to stop and, like, search for blood. We're literally, it looks like somebody took a walk, like you're pouring blood on the ground. So we get to about 500 yards, and I'm not in my right mind. I'm spazzing out. And Eric, I didn't know this at the time. Eric tells the guys, like, dude, we need to back out. I feel like we're pushing this bull. If you shoot them frontal in the heart, they're dead. And they're dead. Like,
there's that famous video on YouTube of that one guy that shoots one and just like sits there and pours blood and just falls over and dies.
Yeah.
Like
but this bull has, 28.5-inch draw. This bull's got 23 inches of air in him. Yeah. So like we know we got into the cavity, so he's gonna die.
Yeah. What broadhead were you shooting?
Iron wheel, 125 grain, that iron wheel wide. So I had to set up. I set up to, if I had to take a frontal, I could. But the whole angle. But anywho, we get on the track, and Eric kind of was like, hey, we need to back out, and we don't. The guide's like, I think he's right here. We're gonna keep going, and we get to I don't even know what you call it, like a spring seep, and it's just a bunch of water. Well, obviously, bull goes in the mud, and you could see where you could tell where he had went into the water. Yeah. And what he did is he went and found somewhere to go put mud on that arrow.
Pack it up.
He packed it up, so he quit bleeding after the water. And we were kind of like, Eric again, hey, we need to kind of. And I'm just along for the ride.
Were you having your doubts at that point?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was like, man, I messed up. I shot him a little too high because of the angle. If I'd aimed a little lower, see, I hit exactly where I was aiming, but I didn't account for the angle. So basically, my arrow went over his heart and got one lung. Instead of at that angle, I should have aimed a little lower, and I would have, obviously would have heart punched him. And in just that moment, your dream hunt's coming true. You got a screaming bull at 5 yards, and
with us flatland hunters,
you don't think about it.
Yeah, you don't.
Never crossed my mind. Never crossed my mind. Hey, I may need to aim a little lower. But we and the guide's like, I'm gonna go 100 more yards just to see, and he jumps him.
He went by himself?
Yeah. We kind of sat there because he kind of wanted to, to be quiet because, he knew, we kind of knew that there was that possibility at this time. So, and what threw me off is how much this bull bled. There's blood. He died. There's no doubt in my mind that he died. It's just like a whitetail. You push a whitetail, your odds of finding that thing goes down tremendously. Yeah. Especially, how many one lung whitetails have you found, that you let lay overnight? There's a high odds that if you let them lay, you're going to find them.
Same thing with a gut shot, liver shot, whatever. If you don't push them, they may not run but 100 yards and pile up. But as long as you don't push them, coyotes don't get after them.
Yeah, so about 800 yards, he never went up. He stayed at that elevation running. So that tells you, he
didn't have the power to go
he didn't
up.
have. That's what we thought. So that was another reason that gave us the confidence to keep going. Is generally elk gets hit, they go up. They try to get up. Or that's what I was told. I'm new to all this, so don't take none of this for for facts. But anyhow, we jumped him, and we never cut a track the rest of the day. Kind of looked a little bit, and I didn't want to completely take up Eric's hunt, because he's still hunting. So we kind of said we'll come back, we'll come back that evening and hunt a little bit and come back that evening. Well, Eric ended up getting on a bull that evening, maybe. Never got a shot, but we ended up coming back. We hunted that morning. Eric hunted that morning, just because I did not want to take away from his hunt.
Right.
I didn't want my mistake to be the end of his dream hunt as well. So we hunt the morning. I don't think obviously we didn't get on anything that was just hot. So we went and started looking for my bull, like grid searching it was probably 10 o'clock in the morning. So we grid searched from about 10 to probably 2 o'clock-ish. Never cut a track. And you don't understand, like grid searching there, it's so steep and so thick. I'm walking 20 yards. I got my Onyx on, my tracker on. I'm walking 20 yards and I'm grid searching 20-yard lengths apart, and I'm walking straight up a mountain, legit straight up and down. My body's shot. I'm not built for that. But we walked, and I got to give it to the guide. He did. He put a ton of miles on looking for this bull, but we just never picked his track up, man.
Jeez. So were y'all public or private ground?
We were public. But
public. What was the ground? If you don't mind me asking, what was the ground? What was the piece of property or the public ground?
Frank Church. Wilderness of No Return.
Wilderness of No Return. You got any kind of point of interest right there around that area where you shot that bull?
What do you mean?
Is there you said Misery Ridge or something like that a while ago. Is there another area closer to that?
Like Yellow Pine?
Yellow Pine,
Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it's not a town. It's like literally 3 bits. It's a bar and a gas station.
What that bull look like?
He was actually a 6x7. He had a little kicker on his right side, which I honestly didn't get a good look at him because I was behind a tree the whole time, and Eric said he was a giant, like even the guide, but it's just, I still have nightmares about that, man. Yeah, spend all that money on gear, spend all that time getting ready. You get to that crunch time and you think you do right, and then it just...
Help your boy out. If I know that this isn't a Joe Rogan podcast where we got billions of downloads, but we get a lot. And so if you know anybody around that area, I know it's a far shot, but if you know anybody around that area.
And I don't want to just straight up give out the location.
Yeah, well, that's why I want to be careful about asking about that.
But if you legit are in that part of the world and are shed hunting this year, I'll drop you some pins on where we were. I have all those pins on Onyx. I got my grid and all that.
Yeah. So you need to buy a knife from Rafter P Knives. Check them out on Instagram. But go ahead and send him a message. And if you or you know somebody that found a dead head, that found a dead bull,
and he's going to be kind of unique because he's a 6x7. There's not, that's not common in that part of the world. And he's big. He's like 320, and that's a huge bull for that part of the world.
He had a kicker on his right side.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Again, last thing, do your boy a favor. If you or you know of someone or you saw on a Facebook page, like, look at this bull somebody shot and they couldn't figure out who killed it.
Yeah.
We will pay to get him back. We will drive up there. So make his boy's dreams come true.
I legit will. But it was an awesome trip. And we were on elk to the last minute. The last minute of the hunt where we got a screaming bull. Just them bulls are smart, man. They get hunted hard. Wolves. We walked past what they call a wolf kill where they come back and revisit it. Wolves are. They decimated the elk herd up there according to them.
Dude, it's crazy what the wolves are what they're doing in Colorado.
Well, what people don't understand about the wolf deal, and I'm sure this holds true to Colorado, the wolves are making the lions kill twice as many deer because the lions don't have time to finish their kill before the wolves come in and eat it. So the lions are killing a deer, eat as much as, like a mule deer, eat as much as they can, and then leave it for the wolves. So now they have to kill another. Yeah. So that's another aspect of the wolf deal that people I don't think about.
Yeah,
because the lion, they don't have time to bury their kill before the wolves get it.
Yeah, and mountain lions, they not drag them up in trees. Or I guess they
bury them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they do the burying deal.
Wow.
Yeah,
I know it's like your African cats. You'll see them drag stuff
up in trees because they'll gorge themselves and then come back. Yeah, they'll gorge themselves.
The mountain lions?
Yeah, they'll gorge themselves on their kill, and then they'll come back to it. And the wolves are getting it before they can come back. So now the mountain lion has to kill something else. Bears same way. The bears will get it before the mountain lion comes back.
Yeah,
because the mountain lion up there kills like 50 to 60 deer a year per mountain lion. Yeah.
There's a lot more cats too than what people think. You just don't ever see them.
Oh yeah. That's the number one predator, like hunter up there. I mean, you'll see wolves. I mean, they kill wolves up there. They have wolf tags, and they talk about how hard they are to kill. And about the only time they can kill lions up there is with the snow and dogs.
That would be fun. That you talk about a dream.
Yeah, my brother-in-law did that hunt. And he said it's
did
fun.
He kill one?
Oh yeah.
Dude, going out there on some horses.
Yeah, he shot it with like his Pepal's 243 or something. So old school open sight.
That would be awesome. Yeah. I would love to do that. But yeah, the wolf deal. That's I don't know. That's a weird.
I'm all for having animals on the landscape that have been there that were native to that, but just like anything else, you get too much of one thing, it's not good.
Yeah, well, does it?
Even too many deer in one area is not good. It goes for all animals, but a deer's not going to kill a rancher's cattle. A deer's not going to
somebody's dog.
Yeah, I mean, so that's what they got it coming. I mean, for sure. I mean, they're going to have too many because there's what's hunting a wolf? Nothing. You're not hunting a wolf. Yeah.
But we can't. I mean, we're not. And then also, you're not seeing the wolves.
No.
Like, I mean, it's not like we live around them, but dude, we got coyotes everywhere.
Dude, we cut wolf tracks and I never saw a wolf. Yeah. I mean, they were there. Yeah. I mean, but you never saw them, but it's so thick up there. I mean, they are so like killing predators up there in Idaho has to be like one of the hardest places just because of how thick. I highly underestimated how thick it was. Think about going in a pine thicket in Louisiana with a bunch of briars and it just be whatever native plants are to Idaho. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, we both, I know we ran dogs. I grew up having dogs, running hogs and stuff like that. Matter of fact, that's big, ugly son gun right there behind you. And, man, we've done it all, but I'm telling you, those wolves and those cats, they hide a lot better than those hogs do. Oh my gosh! And it still can be kind of hard to see them. That's why I said even like the coyotes.
And I will say you'll be out there in the mountains. I don't know if you've ever been like hunting in the mountains, man. You'll get out there and you kind of get that eerie feeling like, dude,
something's watching you.
Yeah.
I don't watch scary movies. I don't do scary stuff.
I'm not scared of the dark. I'm scared of what's in the dark.
Yeah, I do. It really wasn't that long ago. I got where I could go in the woods and sit down or get up in a tree or whatever without being worried about anything. But that's when I was hunting a lot of public ground, like Darbone Refuge.
There.
Dude, I'm not worried about people. I'm sorry, I'm not worried about animals, especially out there like that.
No, I'm worried about crackheads.
I'm worried about I'm worried about the dang meth heads out or the guys that.
Yeah, dude. Especially like, and not that I hunt there a lot, but like Russell Sage, you'll find, or Wham Break, for instance, on the boat ramp. I mean, you'll find
a war zone. It's worse in Ukraine out there.
Dude.
Well, and the drugs and stuff too. It's so isolated, I guess, that there's not really anything else out there, and so you can just go and park around, do your deal or whatever you want to do.
We did the rifle day on Darbone, and it's fun. It really is fun. But we've done the rifle day on Darbone and Upper Washita and stuff, dude, and that's
Well, it seems like more and more people are getting like. It seems like every year, whether it's Upper Washita or somewhere around, even if it's within a couple of hours, you got people getting shot or shot at.
Yes, sir.
And it's not
boat wrecks. Okay. I mean, dude,
the boat wrecks aren't.
Well, it's the respect.
Terrible.
We don't have, hunters do not, for a fact. It just is. They do not have the respect. This generation does not have the respect that we grew up with.
Most of them do not. And it's not the respect just for other hunters. It's even
respect in general.
Just in
How
general.
many kids say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am? You never. You don't hear it anymore.
My 3-year-old does. You got to remind him a lot of times. But.
Yeah, I'll drop kick mine if she don't say it. Yeah, my kid will have manners, but I mean, it's just this generation, man. And what's bad is we had our parents or our peers teach us how to do it correctly or be respectful. Like I was a big duck hunter, but it literally drove me away from duck hunting because I'd pull up and you would rightfully claim a hole, the game, and nobody turns around and goes, hey, they got it today. You got beat. Let's go find something else there. Well, that's my hole. I'm going to get 100 yards from them.
Yeah,
they ain't killing a duck today.
Yeah,
and that's just that. I just can't do it. They literally ruined duck hunting for me. So I will not go duck hunting on public land anymore.
You know, there's parts of, I know it's parts of Missouri. I don't know if it's all of it, but you go out there and there's just.
I've been there.
So it's almost like a lottery.
It is a lottery.
So explain that to me.
Okay, so I'm not going to drop the refuge because I still have buddies that hunt it. But you show up at a game warden station or a headquarters of the refuge, and not all of them do this, but certain ones do this.
Is it that morning?
Yeah, that morning.
Okay.
That's how we did it. That morning, I think it was 4 o'clock is when it started, 4 a.m. And you would walk in there and draw a number. And it's a little different now. This has been several years ago. I know residents have precedence over non-residents now, but at the time, they was all equal because it wasn't crowded.
Right.
And you would go in there and draw a number, and they would have 40 blinds, literal 4-man blinds in flooded corn. And you would go in there and draw a number. And there was no race. You'd get your number. And if you drew, I think it was 1 through 90 or whatever, you draw your number, you pick your blind, you give the game warden your license number, and you have that blind from the start of shooting hours to the shooting hour ends. No race. There's nobody getting your hole. Everybody's respectful. But Missouri has it figured out now, and it's been several years since I've been up there, but Missouri for sure had, like I've been all over the country duck hunting, they for sure had the best conservation that I'd ever seen.
Yeah. So Arkansas, they're talking about that. There's a lot of drama with a lot of stuff in this community, but or the hunting community and fishing too. But it always is. People like to bicker about stuff. But when it comes to Arkansas duck hunting,
I've done it, man.
Oh, me too.
Stupid.
I do. Felsenthal and Overflow, I cut my teeth, and I've gone a little bit north of there, but not anything just like crazy. Like you're driving a boat and you're racing people. Or
the Biomedas, the White River, the Black River.
I ain't done that, but they're talking about it's getting so out of hand that's kind of what they're talking about doing is the lottery system.
Dude. It sucks, but I mean, you got to bring it back. And I hate to get on a duck hunting tear, but you got to bring it back about the ducks. Ducks can't even rest anymore. Same with Upper Ouachita. Ducks don't get a chance to rest up there anymore. There's a mud motor. Mud motors is the worst thing for duck hunting.
Yeah,
I'll say
they're awesome, and they are a tool.
They are a great tool, but I think that's the number one kill to duck hunting is ducks do not get to rest anymore.
Yeah,
these little spots that get away from you and all that they don't exist.
They ain't doing it anymore.
No.
Well, I don't know if this is true. I'm going to assume that this is not true. One of my best friends, Michael McVeigh? He's a biologist with Ducks Unlimited. You may have seen some pictures like I posted of him or whatever. He's actually coming on. We're doing a back-to-back episode today. He's coming on talking about tack and stuff after lunch today. But he's a biologist with Ducks Unlimited. I'll say this, there's so much that goes on with Ducks Unlimited that they do in efforts to help things out that you never hear on, even if it's laws and passing different things.
I'm not saying that it's anybody, like they for sure help. What I'm saying is the we don't have conservationists in our hunting crowd anymore.
For sure.
It's killer. Everybody just wants to take. Nobody wants to put back in.
But that someone posted something. Like I say, I'm not knocking DU. I wish he was here to say that's true or that's false. I'm not sure. But someone made a picture or posted a picture or something the other day of like Doge, like Elon and everybody. Did you see it? They're like go and audit Ducks Unlimited.
Oh yeah,
did you see that one?
Saw that.
And then again, it could have been a bunch of BS. I don't know, but I promise you, it don't matter. It don't matter what DU or Delta or any of what your state's doing. It ultimately comes down to us.
If birds don't have somewhere to rest, they're not coming here.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with deer, dude. People,
and in the cold weather, there's other factors, but that is the main factor, in my opinion, is mud motors.
Well, and water here. I mean, we've been shy on water here for Martin, the duck commander. That's what he says. Like, man, we need to watch our river. We need it to have more water. We need more backwater.
Oh yeah,
like
for
even places that guys don't hunt. We need backwater to hold ducks because they're going to move around, but we've got to be able to hold ducks, and we just.
And what water we do have has got a mud motor running on it.
That is true. They're fun, man.
I had one. I did the whole.
Me too.
Yeah, it's, and I hate to sound so harsh, but it's just I loved it so much, and now it's just whittled down to art. Like you can't, like used to, you could have on public land, you could have a 500 bird year, and now I think like. I've been out of it for a few years, but I think now like 150 bird years, like you're doing something. Yeah, look, 200 bird year, you're doing something.
Yeah, and as much money as it costs to go and do it, it's not that it costs that much to go and do it. It's just same thing like with tack. You don't have to go have 33 grand, 3,500 bucks, $4,000 in a bow or bow build or whatever. You don't have to have all that to be able to go shoot tack, but that's what we're into and that's what we want to do.
For sure.
It's the same thing like when we were duck hunting. If me and you could go back and we had the money now that we had when we were 16, we'd be wearing the Sitka waders. We'd be wearing the nice breathable waders.
For sure.
We'd have all the high end duck calls. We'd have the mud motors. We'd have all that kind of stuff. And
I love gear too. That's another my bad traits my wife doesn't like is I love gear.
Well, problem with me and you is it swaps from one thing to the other.
Oh,
it goes from saddle hunting to building out new bows to fishing and everything else. It's just it constantly swaps. But again, cost of entry on everything seems like it's getting higher because the game of comparison.
Oh yeah,
like it's
you got this, I need that.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, like it's hard. It's hard for people to go. It's hard for people to go to tack. I know we keep talking about that. It's hard for people to go to tack when you show up shooting that bow and they have that mission craze or not that won't do it, but when you can go buy
people have been, I guess it would be money shame. Like I don't remember, like you have people show up and I say money shame. Like you shouldn't be embarrassed of what you can't afford.
No.
That, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All that matters is you're going. If all you got is a mission craze, show up and shoot, man. Yeah. Outshoot all of us. Show us. I mean, you may have to put a little more work and time in because, but still.
Well, dude, even those Fred Bear, I don't remember the name of it, but we sold a ton of them at the store this year. And it's just a package bow. I think they're $600, $700. It's like the Fred Bear or the Bear, I know it's Bear Archery now, but the Bear, like Alaska, it may not be the Alaskan guys, excuse me if that's wrong, but it's something like that. Yeah. But, I mean,
the entry level bows now too, or the budget bows are so much better now than what they were 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Even 5 years ago, they're very, very big different. Now, again, it is not like we're going to talk them up and be good.
Well, when you can get a dual cam bow that's got a pick mount, integrated rest for $5.99 or $6.99, whatever that Alaskan is. I mean, because I'm pretty sure the Bear stuff has integrated options on it.
Yeah. I don't know if it is the Alaskan. I don't know if I'll look.
One of them does, and it's like it's sub $700. I want to say.
Yeah,
and I mean, dude, you can buy a very good rig that's going to be competitive and shoot good, have good speeds.
Yes, I think that's what it is. It's the Bear Alaskan
that's got the integrated stuff.
I don't know.
I think it's got like a pick mount on it and integrated rest mount, a roller guard instead of the old.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you can't beat that for getting into archery. I mean, you can actually put a high end sight on that because that's where it's at. Your bow's good. Don't get me wrong, but your sight is to me is for being accurate. Your sight and your peep alignment is the two main things.
Yeah, and you do, and yeah, that's what it is. The Bear Alaskan XT speeds up to 335, which you're not getting that on any of them, but 80% let off. 45, so it's 25 inches to 30 inch, two weight ranges from 45 and 55 pounds.
What's the MSRP on that bow?
We got it at, I don't know if this is updated. I don't know if this is accurate with the packages that we have there, but this shows 629.
Dude, perfect.
So again, depending on, because I know we have different options. It comes with different, some come with a whisker biscuit, some with a fall away. There's different side options and stuff for it, but more or less, you're talking about that $650, $700.
Even sub $1,000 with a $300 sight.
Yeah,
there you go. And you're competitive.
And it's doing work. Now, again, we are saying that, so we're not trying to be hypocritical and say that it's going to do what that would do, but it's a great place to start.
You're not going to have the forgiveness. That's the main thing. I feel like you're buying when you buy these you're buying forgiveness and consistency.
Well, and like in quality too.
Higher end strings, higher end components. I mean, it's just the integrated stuff. I mean, that's a big deal for me. I love having like that one system for hunting.
Yeah, all the like the Matthews Bridge Lock and then the Hoyt Picatinny stuff. I really like all that. I love how on these Hoyt bows,
the integrated back bar,
dude. That is
see the TX5 didn't have Haley's TX5 didn't have that, and it was always big and kind of clunky having that mount up front and then having to run. You don't have to run as long as bars. See, I run my front bar on that bottom mount and just run an 8. So you're really running like a 10 or a 12 up front or 11, I think is what it ends up adding.
Yeah.
So, and it's a little for hunting, it's kind of out there and in the way a little bit, but for just target shooting, definitely getting that weight lower definitely stabilizes that bow a little more.
Yeah. Before this one, I didn't get the lift last year. I thought about just swapping, because I'm doing it for content. Like getting the bows, all the pictures and videos and everything for Hoyt and Matthews and everybody else. But I had the idea of being able to go to a Matthews and a Hoyt, kind of bouncing back and forth. And I loved that Phase 4. That's the last Matthews I had. I loved it so much.
Good bow.
It was awesome. I had the 33, but I had a 10-inch bar on the front of it. And it wasn't the bridge lock bar, but I had a 10-inch bar on the front of that and an 8-inch bar on the back. And it was a ticket. It was on that. But last year it got where it's a little bit too hunting some smaller stump blinds. It was a little bit too cumbersome in there. Yeah. It wasn't axle to axle. 33 inches, that's not too long. It's
not long.
Saddle hunting in small spots, ground blind, even those real small stump blinds, which the interior diameter is smaller than this portion of the table. It's small, like 3.5 or 4 foot. It's a rifle hunting blind. Axle to axle is not 33 inches. Guys, 33 inches total, like axle to axle length from the top to the bottom. That's not too much.
15 years ago, they were shooting 45-inch axle.
45.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, they're tiny compared to...
They are. But I needed something a little bit more compact. And so last year, that's the bow that we did the giveaway on. I got that demo of the Alpha X30, and I built it small. And it was awesome. But I kind of did the same accessory, same thing this year with that one. I did the carbon bow and the longer axle.
I want to try it. I've never had that longer. I've always bought the short bows because I'm like, man, you need a short bow to tree stand hunt, but you really...
Once you go and shoot the Phase 4 33, that's
kind of like that tipping point, like I'm buying the longer bows.
After that one, that's where I was like, okay, I'm getting that. The Alpha X 30, that's the first one that came in. I was kind of in the same position as you. I was like, look, whether we get a 30 or 33 of the new Hoyt.
Richard, I need my bow.
Richard, we're going to text him in a minute. Surprising he ain't already called me. He knows we're doing the podcast. Surprising he ain't already called me this morning. But that was the first long bow that I had. I say long for relative terms.
Longer for what you normally get.
Yeah, but dude, now once you shoot that longer axle bow,
I'm ready. I'm foaming at the mouth.
You don't want to go. You don't want to go back. I really don't know if it's mine. I don't know if it's Hoyt's property or Spotted Dog's property. It's about like everything I have.
I'll take care of it.
That turtle box it ain't. I don't even think I own myself or even the jacket that I wear. I feel like I get stuff for a short season, get some pictures and content with it,
and then
it's taken away. Yeah, it is fun getting a new bow every year. But going through the process, because the problem is it's so weird, but those guys know what they're doing, but the bows, they come in when we're trying to hunt. So it's weird that so many people in the country, their hunting season come November, it's winding down.
Yeah, we're kind of weird in the South, man. Like December 1st, people are like, deer season's over. And we're kind of like...
I ain't really even started hunting yet.
Exactly.
Like, I'm January a lot. Like, Kansas is a different story, but I'm talking about hunting around the house.
Around the house, yeah.
I'm not really...
Like, Christmas is my favorite time in North Louisiana. Because there's no browse. Yeah. I mean, and it is what it is. You're hunting corn feeders here. There's no browse. That's when they're hitting the corn the best. When everybody's out of the woods, kind of done, Thanksgiving week, the rut.
Yeah.
Christmas week is my favorite kind of week in North Louisiana.
Yeah. As long as we have the good weather for it. It's Louisiana stuff. Is what this morning at 7 o'clock, it showed the real feel at 5 degrees.
It was 1 at the camp yesterday.
Dude, they're talking about, we talked about
it was 10 there this morning.
We talked about going to Kansas. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We talked about going to Kansas this weekend and or leaving this Thursday and we're going next Thursday. But we talked about going this Thursday and we're like, we're not doing it because we're leaving today. Yeah. So Tuesday they had a front moving in and they were talking about 6 to 9 or maybe 7 to 9, something like that, inches of snow up there we were in Kansas.
We're going to our place in Texas Friday and to fill some protein feeders up and get some turkey feeders filled up because you can hunt them over corn there. And it's going to be 19 degrees there Saturday morning. So that's going to be fun.
I hope I get drawn for a turkey tag. So
where'd you put in?
Kansas.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, dude, it's not over the counter anymore.
It's so stupid.
Didn't they do that with ducks? They're doing it with ducks. Non-residents have to do some kind of draw. I want to say I heard that. Yeah.
I have not heard that.
I may be wrong on that. I think public land may be like some kind of like Arkansas's deal. Residents can only hunt certain days of the week.
Yeah. That's retarded. Well, I can't say retarded. That's dumb.
There you go.
That is dumb is what that is. I mean, that's so much. Look, you would think that they would know, the government would know what they were doing when it came to that. They would have the right people in place, but we're finding out firsthand every day all the new money that they're uncovering that they ain't got a freaking clue what they're doing. But dude, the turkey hunting deal, I get the deer.
Oh, for sure.
We do not
we
can't have Kansas over the counter.
For sure.
Whitetail hunting.
Not with YouTube and with the media, you can't.
You can't do it. But turkeys, and I know they're talking about a population decline. So it went from 2 toms with a fall season a number of years ago, that buying it over the counter, to 1 tom, no fall season in the same year. I think it was the same year. No, it was 1 tom with the fall season, and then the next year is still 1 tom with no fall season. I get the fall season deal, but I see a lot of turkeys during bow season up there. I'm like, I mean, it'll be freaking 40 or 50 of them out there.
Come to Texas, we get 4.
I got to sell you some knives. That way I can bribe you and take me. But what I'm saying is like we get a landowner tag, and it's me, my father-in-law, and brother-in-law. And so with the ground we have, we get a landowner tag with it. So deer hunting is fine. I don't have to get drawn.
Yeah, see, we got that place in Kansas. I didn't draw. Haley drew.
Right.
We didn't make one sit because she couldn't get off to go. It was one of those deals.
And it's tough. So you got that for deer, which I understand.
Yeah.
I get it for deer. Kansas, I ain't saying it's the absolute best in the world now, land of the giant, but it's as good now as it's ever been. I don't know about ever, but at least in my lifetime, it's as good now as it's ever been. The quality of deer you see is great, but on the turkeys, back to that, man, we have so many turkeys that just the statewide, all but Unit 4 or Unit 3 or Unit 4, I'll check on that because I don't remember, but I think it's the northwestern part of the state. It's different. Everything else, it's still 1 tom there, but it's a completely different process of getting drawn for that one. Everywhere else in the state, it don't matter where you are. If you're outside, I think it's again Unit 4 or something like that. You got to put in for the draw, even as a landowner. And dude, so many people don't get drawn. I mean, it's just like the deer. Like it's ridiculous.
We put in 4 tags, and my wife was the only one that got drawn for Kansas this year
for deer.
For deer,
and so, but again, dude, turkeys. Come on, bro, it's a turkey. Dude, we're loaded with
I'm
turkeys.
leaving Kansas. Texas is where it's at. Over the counter, 4 turkeys.
Well, I'll if I don't get drawn, I ain't wanting to invite myself. But let me tell you, if I don't get drawn for Kansas, and you, I don't care if we fly out there and parachute in and hunt for a morning.
Yeah, I'm in,
dude.
Any chance to go out there, I'll go. I love it out there. It's honestly, it's legit my favorite place in the world. I love being out there.
Yeah. What trail cameras are y'all running?
Man, I bought some stealth cams for out there, and they're not working. I run Tacticams here at the house. I tried to go cheap on my Texas cams. I'm going all Tacticams out there. None of them are good, in my opinion. None of them are just great, but you got some that have less kinks than others, or quirks than others. So Tacticams they eat batteries really, really bad. But
you got to run the battery pack and the solar panel.
Yeah, I build that little battery pack for them out of the 12 volts, and that's the only way I can do it. Yeah. But stealth cams, I will say their batteries are great. They have that little external battery, last all year, but they the motions, they're always messing up.
So they're not out yet. You can't even search it and find it online, but the Moultrie, it's the Edge 3 Pro Solar. So everybody's kind of, even Covert, they went from having the Black Hawks that are like $300 or $400 to they're having a more of a not package. It's a package
more
has a solar panel. It has a solar panel built in, and that's a little bit more. But it is more of a entry level sub $200 camera, even with the solar panel.
I'm in
that, but I don't know enough about the coverts. I don't know enough about that yet. But the Moultries, they have their new Edge 3 Pro Solar coming out. And a matter of fact, I was texting Michael at the store this morning. I was like, hey,
I'll check them out. I'm going to have 15. To buy a parcel of them because I'm getting rid of the stealth cams. I got a bunch of stealth cams for sale. Anybody wants a stealth cam?
hit him up, Rafter P9.
Yeah.
But we've been running Tacticam, and they're phenomenal cameras. And they like some juice, but you get past that, they're good. And if you don't do the video on them too, you really don't have all the issues. Do y'all run video on your Tacticams? We don't have issues if you don't run video.
As long as when I started using those 12 volt batteries or whatever, they last 9 months. That's what we have in Kansas. I have 3 or 4 out there. They lasted all year.
You just have the battery pack built in. You don't have a solar panel?
Just a 12 volt. Yep. Gotcha. They lasted 9 months. But it sends once a day.
Okay, yeah, and I got mine. Yeah, we're running a little bit different. I got mine since it takes a picture. It's gonna
mine sends once a day to save that battery. But yeah, it'll last about 9 months on that 12 volt battery.
But dude, the app I'll tell you more about it after, but just quick details, the app on Moultrie, and it's been out for a little while, but Grant Woods in Missouri, shout out to Grant. He's been to our property and he's an awesome dude. That son of a gun knows what he's freaking talking about when it comes to deer. Like he's a wizard.
That's what, Dr. Deer, correct? No, who?
I don't know does he go by Dr. Deer?
Is that him?
It's
the guy in Missouri?
Yeah, but does he go by Dr. Deer? I always forget if that's him or that other.
I listen to his podcast sometimes.
Yeah, but he has the Growing Deer TV.
That's what it is. Not Dr. Deer. Growing Deer. That's right.
There is a Dr. Deer. I think that's another guy, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember.
Yeah, Growing Deer TV.
But Dr. Grant Woods, Growing Deer TV. That's what they run is Moultrie's, and so we talked to him, and they've been running the Edge 2 Pros. Absolutely love them. They're great, but the app cameras are good. Like I think. Who knows if those cameras are all being made in the same place or not?
But Stealth Cam's app sucks.
Covert app sucks.
Does it?
But they got a brand new app coming. It'll be here sometime midsummer, early fall, something like that is what they told us. So, I'm excited about that. But the app for Moultrie, it's like as user friendly as Tacticam. That's the best thing about Tacticam.
App is super easy, and the sharing feature because we have everybody sharing. Absolutely. It's super easy.
But you can go and look at all the analytical data on the Moultrie app. And again, I wish I already had the cameras. I've only looked at it on videos, but Michael Little at Spotted Dog, he showed me the app yesterday when I was down there on some stuff. But it goes and it shows how many pictures you're getting of bucks or of deer in general or pictures in general during certain times of the day. And so break it down.
So it's got activity. Like a data bank deal that saves data.
Absolutely. And so, but it's their new app. Everybody says they have AI. This Mountain Knobs has AI built into it. They're going to claim anyway. I mean, not really that, but everybody has AI built into their stuff. But that's not our view. I heard a horn
honking at the red light.
We're in Monroe. It's not. Somebody's honking at somebody. But it has AI built into it, and so it'll go and help decipher, like, it'll break it down when the deer are moving and patterns and stuff like that. It's just making it easy is what it is. Probably making it too easy, but you're truly learning deer behavior and their habits and routines on your piece of property. And when you're hunting, like me, 700 miles away from our property, or you almost 600 miles away from your property.
Same deal.
You need, I understand need, but it certainly helps to have that.
It dang sure helps me because, you really, like, I'm blessed with being self-employed, so I get to spend more time on the road than most because I can work, weekends to get caught up and then take a little bit of time off. But yeah, like November's tough, man, because I pretty much go out there every weekend, and then my wife comes out there for Thanksgiving break, and we all, we have big camp Thanksgiving break. And, I spent a lot of time out there in November, and them cameras, because you can't hunt cameras, but you can, if that makes sense. Like you can't, if I just need to know he's there. Like I don't know. It's bit me in the butt in the past too, for sure, knowing a deer's there and then be like, I'm gonna wait till it's right. And then he shows up on this. Anywho, but they help knowing like what's in the area and what, because you spend all this time, I'm not like an inch guy, but I definitely want to try to shoot the biggest deer that I can.
For sure.
Especially the most mature. So if that camera helps me do that, I'm running cameras.
I've came to the conclusion this may be wrong. I feel like if you actually have a bunch of cameras on your place, you got 15, 20 cameras over depending on the size of the property. We ain't got but 260 acres, but over 260 acres, you're pushing almost 20 cameras. You learn a lot about it. And then actually sitting out there, you learn even more observing.
Oh yeah.
I've come to the conclusion, maybe wrong. Tell me you think I'm wrong or disagree with me. I don't know how it is in Texas, but on our place in Kansas, I feel like cameras really tell us only about 30 or 40% of what's going on.
That.
Do you? And I think I'm not talking about just of activity. I'm talking about deer in general.
100%.
So that deer that I gave a haircut to with that bow at Thanksgiving. Did I send you that video?
No, I don't think you did.
Oh, bro, I'll show it to you in a minute. So I had this deer come in. I could give you all the excuses in the world, but none of them are good. It's my fault. Long story short, I always aim at the bottom.
I'm
gonna aim there. This one, I said, man, Man, I did it twice. Got on video, and he was spooky, and so I was like,
He's going to drop.
He's going to drop. I mean, I may shoot over his horns if I aim, where you're supposed to aim. So I aimed at the very bottom. I shot at 60 frames, got on slow motion. That arrow running mid 290s at 42, I think it's 41, 42 yards. It goes, he does not move. I'm talking about literally, Zach, I'm not in line, the millisecond. That arrow had to be within inches, the broadhead, that mega meat, or dead meat, whatever I shot him. I think I shot that with the mega meat. It had to be within inches of him before he ever even thought about moving. Yeah. And it went, a puff of white hair came out from the bottom. He ran off. Yeah. I watched him for 800-900 yards till he disappeared down in a little draw. Yeah. But anyhow, that deer, I never saw that deer. Mm-hmm. Never saw him. I saw him. I actually passed that morning because I thought he was a 3.5 and I wasn't going to shoot him. But I saw him multiple times that trip, and when I finally got him close enough to relive, I was like, "That's 4.5-year-old deer. I may not get to come back. I'm smoking him." Yeah. But anyhow, again, missed. Gave him a haircut. We got the deer on pictures, or got pictures and videos of the deer well after that. He never even dropped a drop of blood. He's fine. He's fine now. But up to that point, I saw him multiple times with my eyes. Never got him on camera. Yeah. The deer that I killed this year, it was small.
I saw that video.
Yeah. Now that one. Yeah, I got fired up. It is a beautiful deer. I got fired up about that, but same thing. Killed that deer. Never had him on camera. Yeah. There was a deer I was watching. I mean, well over 1,000 yards away across. It was on the neighboring property. He went. He was a smaller buck, which I knew. I knew this deer. He might be 3.5. He's probably a 2-year-old deer, mid to low 120s, called 120-inch deer or something like that. He was pushing this little young doe around. So I was watching with my binos. I had that camera in the corner, that camcorder, had it filming him. And so I was watching him, and then they both stopped. Just wide open running like freaking pronghorn. They stopped and looked back, just locked the hooves like a heel horse, just lock up. And they look back, and big boy comes out of the plum thicket, and he dwarfed him. I don't know what deer that was, but dwarfed him. But that's 3 different deer within a few short days that I saw multiple times that I've never gotten on camera to this day.
Oh yeah,
I haven't gotten on camera.
I think it's 10 to 15% is all you see. That buck I killed this year, I'd been bow hunting him. I actually killed him with my rifle. I'd been bow hunting him pretty much, I guess it would be 4 days at a time in November. So I would go, I go out, basically, I guess it's 3.5 hunts, or 3.5 days of hunting of 2 sets a day. And that last day before I leave that morning, I had 2 weeks of doing that, and then we left for Thanksgiving, and I'd hunted all Thanksgiving week, and I didn't have a win. I hadn't had him on camera in like 10 days or something, and it was hot. I say hot. It was like 55, 60 degrees, and Haley and Riley are at the camp. Haley's been hunting. She killed her buck opening weekend, so she was kind of just knocking around, plugging some does. We got some all dad out there. She was trying to shoot all dad, and kind of little deal, like my wife loves to hunt just as much as I do. She hunts. Like, she doesn't need me. She can load the buggy up. She can hook the trailer up. She goes hunts. Yeah, we got a little private land spot right there by the house. She takes her hunting clothes to school with her. She's a teacher, changes at school and then goes and gets in deer stand. She don't need me. She does it. She knows how to do everything. And we were going to split up that evening. I was like, well, I'm on a stand called Armadillo. I said, I'm going to go to Armadillo. I said, you and Riley just come with me on my rifle hunt. I don't have a wind to bow hunt. Said that deer's, he's in between here and a stand we call Crooked Tree, and didn't have a wind to bow hunt him, so we went and got in the rifle blind, and we're in there, got the iPad going, got whatever. Yeah, she's playing. She loves to look. Like, we had some hogs show up, and she said, "Daddy, shoot him." So I shot one of the hogs, and it dropped at the feeder, and I want to go get it. She loves it, and what really wasn't expecting. You just, early shot a hog. I'm like, we'll sit here. You never know. And Riley was actually, I think she was in my lap or Haley's lap. And it was like the last 20 minutes a day, before shooting hours in. And I see him. I mean, kind of like, oh my God, here he is. And I was like, here we go. I told Haley, I said, get Riley. We got her some little pink headphones. So we put her little pink earmuffs on, and she's sitting in Haley's lap. And I shoot him. I mean, because he was bugged out. That hog was at the feeder, so he wasn't. So he was like, farthest deer I've ever shot. I'm, Louisiana guy. Don't shoot a rifle. It's like 270 yards. That's a freaking poke for me. Yeah, especially around this part of Louisiana. I know there's guys that shoot that with their eyes closed, but anywho, I shoot him, and and he runs to the right, and I think I see him fall, but I can still see white. So, I mean, I'm one of those guys, if I can see him, I'm shooting again. So I loaded another shell, and I sent another one, and I didn't see anything move after that. So I told Haley and Riley, I said, sit here. I'm going to ease down there and just kind of see. And I get to where I shot him, and there's no blood. I'm like, dang. I said, I know I hit him because he did the old tucked his shoulder and whatnot. And I get down there, and I don't see any blood. I'm like, dang. And there's this 2-year-old 8 or 3-year-old 8-point standing like 40 yards from or 30 yards from me. I'm like, what the heck is he doing, man? He was not paying me any mind. He's like looking down and kind of stomping his foot. And I'm like, it's the middle of the rut, obviously. I'm like, what the heck? That kind of threw me off. So I kind of circled to kind of see what was going on. I circled back down towards the feeder. And then I kind of get some elevation, and I could see that half rack, and that buck was standing. That 2-year-old was standing over that buck. He wasn't like goring him or nothing, but he was just kind of like, dead. What the heck? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that deer never, like that deer stayed, that 2-year-old stayed like 50, 60 yards until I left. Yeah. He was weirded out. Like he didn't understand what was going on, but I didn't touch him or nothing like that. The buck I killed, I could see him. Hauled butt back up to the stand. I got Haley and Riley, and I let Riley go down there and find him.
Nice.
So, yeah, we got all Haley videoed all that. She's great.
You posted that on Facebook, didn't you?
I posted, I think, a picture of me, and I don't post very much of my hunting stuff.
Maybe Haley did.
Haley did.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm weird. I'm one of those guys, like I do a photo album. If you want to come see my stuff, you got to come flip through the photo album at the house. But I posted that because like Riley was, and that was like, it was so cool that they were with me because you don't think about like aggressively hunting with your wife and kid in the blind, will you? But yeah, that's one great thing about being out there is we have these blinds that are, a little bigger than they're like 8 foot round. So you can bring the kids, there's a carpet, turn the heater on and they can hang out and she can have a ball.
Have all the snacks, iPad, watch something. Yeah. That's the thing about making it fun for them is
because we do like when we go as a family. Like we very rarely we go to the camp and it's not all of us. It's just how we, because I'm blessed. My wife loves to hunt. So when we go out there, I mean, we got toys packed. We got, movies, kid movies and all that. So, and we prepare, like we make it where it's easy to take her.
Ain't that what it's all about though? That kind of stuff. Some kind of iteration of that.
Yeah. Haley shot a Louisiana buck this year with a rifle, and she was with us when she shot that buck last day of rifle season.
That may be what I was thinking of. Maybe.
Yeah.
I remember
it may have been. We left a birthday party and, I was like, let's go. I mean, it's the last day. Why not? And again, cameras. Never had this deer on camera. Didn't know it existed. I mean, he wasn't nothing big. I mean, it's nice for Louisiana. He walked out, and I was like, that's a buck. Shoot him. I mean, we didn't have no idea what he was.
Yeah.
And she ended up dropping him in his tracks, and we walked down there, and that was all. That was pretty cool last day. But
I did that with Vaughn. I took him to my buddy Corey's place. We went and killed 2 does out there, and then went to another buddy's place in Oak Ridge, just huge food plots.
Yeah.
And so I got a 35 Wheeling, put a suppressor on it, sighted that son gun in, and I got a Leupold that you could dial it. Mm-hmm. And dude, I'm talking about, I shot it at 600 yards, a 35 Wheeling.
That's a poke.
I mean, and I'm shooting a big, probably a 20, I don't know, maybe even a 30-inch pie plate. It's a big pie plate. But,
deal.
But, and I was propped up sandbags and everything else too, but a freaking primitive gun that's laying smoke like that. But anyhow, we killed 2 does over 200. Me and Vaughn did. And dude, it was so much fun getting him out, him wanting to go, and it's a blast. They're both right there. They're both a little over 3. They're getting to that fun age.
Yeah, Riley's super fun. We bought her a little like Nerf gun.
Yeah,
we had a spike come in, and the other day he was like, we have a feeder that's close to, it's like 75, 80 yards. So she got up, got her gun up, shot that Nerf at that spike. She was mad because it didn't fall. Yeah. So, we try to keep it fun, man. Yeah. We don't. I try to keep it fun for her because I want her to love it as much as we do.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to force it on them.
Like if she don't want to go, we're not going. You don't stay at the camp, play. I mean, and that's what's great about this. We actually moved ranches this year. That's what's great about this place is we got a house with it. So put the pallet out, bring all the toys because we had been doing the camper deal, and camper's small when it comes to a kid, man.
Yeah.
So. And then like Thanksgiving week, all the family's there. My brother-in-law, his brother-in-law, we're all buddies and friends. So we have a big spread. Everybody's at the table. Kids are on the couches running around. So it's like, that's what it's about though, right there. That's what makes me love this place so much. It's just the family aspect of it too.
Yeah. And how many acres is it that y'all have?
It's a bunch. It's like, It's 16. I think it's 16,000 altogether, but we have one guy that leases a pasture to himself, and then we have 12,000 that we have access to.
It's a lot of ground.
Yeah, and it's 5 or 6 of us. My cousin actually got into it this year from here. But we I kind of, me and another guy, Eric, did all the bow hunting stuff. So we set all the stands double sets.
Nice.
So everybody,
ladder stands,
and then we have a lock on hanging off of that. So all the stands are double sets. So you can have if you want to film, that's fine. But like that's kind of like the deal with bow hunting. I love hunting with people. I love like going. So I made it where no matter what, like we took the preacher and I was able to sit with him at every stand. So
nice.
I mean, it's just, I like that too. Like we try to make it where it's family oriented, friend oriented. You know, it's about getting together and having fun more than it is about killing.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm ready for tack, dude.
Me too.
I keep looking over at that bow. We've been rolling about an hour and a half, and it's almost 10 o'clock. I'm kind of thinking we ought to wrap this thing up.
That's fine.
I want to.
I get picked on for talking a lot.
No, we're going to do a lot more. I thought of something else I wanted to talk about, but I was like, we'll save that for another time.
Yeah.
But I think I'm ready to shut this down. Let's pack the bow up. I want to go to your house.
Yeah.
And I want to get a few pictures of some stuff
I'll go
for
show you the
but,
shop and all that.
Yeah, I'll check that out and then get back up here around lunch or so for that other one. But anyhow, tell people how to find you. But looking for your knives.
We're kind of shadow banned on a couple of the
social
medias because I sell weapons. So on Instagram, you got to type in the whole name, Rafter P Customs _. Facebook is Rafter P Customs, and TikTok is Rafter P Custom Knives. So reach out. You got any questions and messages? I try to answer some, but honestly, you're probably talking to my wife.
She knows more anyways.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm the knuckle dragger. She just tells me what to build and I build it.
Well, it's so you do drops.
Yeah, I try to do a drop every Friday, which those are probably fixing to get spread out because we got show season coming up. So we'll be at the BFI starting the last week of March. Then we got the Western Heritage in May, and then Little Britches July, and then we have a ranch rodeo we do in August, and then to Vegas again. And
then we'll be back at deer season.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready.
We'll be getting back on. These are premium knives. This is super nice. But again, this is not. I know this is. It looks, especially with the sheath, it has more of that Western kind of vibe to it.
And if you don't, and that's the thing too, it's all custom. If you like, I want a horizontal sheath, I want a vertical sheath, I want a old school. I mean, I can build you whatever you want.
You build and do all this.
Yeah, I do the leather too.
Ones, if you go and you get your bow worked on at the archery department of Spotted Dog, you're going to see that Michael has one of these. You did for him, and Richard does too.
Yep.
And now they use them so much, they get busy. They'll use it. They'll go and they'll cut a D-loop off or whatever else, and they'll just go and they'll just set it down, and then they'll be looking for it again in a minute, trying to carry through everything to find it. But they use the fire.
That's what I love that. Like they're not like they're made to use. You buy one of my knives, use the heck out of it. I said,
I like how tough they are though. Like that's one thing that just kind of having cheaper knives, you're always worried about. It breaking or something like that. But dude, you're talking about the spine on the back of this one. That's a thick son of a.
And like I said, you do something stupid with it, you will break the tip. I mean, it's still a tip, but I mean, I'll fix it.
That's awesome. All right, dude. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
I enjoyed it. This was a blast.
We'll do a lot more. We got a lot more to talk about, just fun stuff. But I appreciate you coming on. Check them out on social media and online at Rafter P Custom, and it's the letter P.
Yeah, or you can go to the website rafterpcustomknives.com.
Yeah, he gave me this baller hat, son.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, check them out.
Yeah, I did a little use code Spotted Dog for a free shipping for the next 2 weeks.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right, so this episode,
all one word.
This will drop. Let's see. This will drop. Today's the 20th, so this will drop next week.
Okay,
and
so
this will drop one
just
day.
get with me, and I'll make sure that's live for when this.
Yep.
But yeah, code Spotted Dog for free shipping.
Spotted Dog for free shipping. I appreciate it. All right, well, dude, let's go shoot some bows for a minute.
Let's go.
Appreciate you, homie.
Thank you, man.
Bye, everybody.